Hello, my name's Jack, otherwise known as the Northumbrian Wild Camper. Not so much of a wild camper at the minute because I've always either been busy when the weather's okay and seem to be free with not a thing to do when it's absolutely pouring down with rain, sleet or thunder and lightning. Rain doesn't bother us too much, but thunder and lightning's another thing. So I was supposed to get out camping with my good friend Graham on Sunday night, but that didn't happen due to some horrible weather forecasts, which don't actually think materialised. It probably would have been quite a nice night after all that. So I suppose I should start by saying welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first video that I've made talking, looking at a camera. It's not really for me. I'm sure I'll get more used to it, but for now it's a bit of a new thing. I thought I would start off by talking about some of the cook kits that I've got. Stoves, pots, pans, things that I like to use. I've got quite a few new pieces of kit, so I like to get those out and have a good look through them. And then hopefully make some more videos when I'm out and about, trying them out for real. Suppose I better get started. So, one of the first things I'm going to start with is this. This is the Alpkit Coro titanium lightweight, fairly small. I wouldn't say it's super small, but fairly small stove. Packs nicely into a little bag just here. Nice little bag. Reasonable size, lovely and lightweight. It's got the gas vaporizer on as well, so works best in cold conditions. Separate gas bottle, doesn't screw on top, just sits out to the side. I'm sure you've all seen these before, lots of different types of them, and nothing I've got here today is going to be new and revolutionary to any of you seasoned campers. It's just giving people a little look at what I've got. So, Coro stove. Now that attaches to... no, I had a little specific order in which I was going to start, but I've just realised that I put the gas canister inside there, so bear with me 2 seconds. Here we go, one standing gas canister, so just separately sits over there, out the way of the stove. You all know that. Now with the Coro stove, I've got this, which is the Alpkit Concertina windshield. It's a nice piece of kit, quite big. I suppose when you see the pans that I've got, you'll understand why I've got such a large windbreak. I don't tend to use it open with the 2 pegs because one of the pegs has gone missing, so I just keep it with the one now and use it as a circle. This is a modification I've made to it just this morning. I need to sand the edges down, a little bit rough. This is to accommodate most of my pans. A lot of them fit already, but some of them didn't, and I wanted something I can use with everything, so I'm not afraid to modify things when I need to. So he just sits nicely over the Coro. Quite straightforward. Now put that to one side again. Right, well, we'll start with the alley pots, I think. Probably the biggest pans that I've got. It's a great set for outdoor cooking, but I would use it more on like a day hike, or if you were going out specifically to cook something for your lunch. It's not really camping friendly unless there's a few of you to share the weight and the bulk. So start off with large frying pan. Small frying pan. Black pudding, fried eggs. None of those horrible mushroom things. Small soup pot, pasta pot. I think that's a 1 litre pan, so it's a nice little size. Aluminium, hard anodised, not titanium, although they do look that sort of way. They're not that aluminium, so a little bit heavier, but still a lightweight set. And this is the 1.7 litre pan. I've made risotto for 1 person, 2 people in this. You could probably get away with maybe 3, 4. You're going to be pushing it. You're going to get a very small portion of risotto. 1 and 2 people very comfortably. I think there is another set what Alpkit do. I can't remember the name of them now. That does 3 to 4 people. This is the 1 to 2 person set. So the comes with a lovely spongy protective bag as well. Let's put that on one side. So the good thing about these is nice insulated handles, snapback handles. Everybody's seen those before. They're nothing new or revolutionary, are they? So the modifications that I've made to the windbreak is to accommodate these handles. So that just slides in there. Sits nicely on there. It's a nice height, plenty of ventilation for heat exhaust, things like that. Gas, any unburned gas, and such like condensation if you're on wet grass. That can all rise up without affecting the heat. So put that back out there. Smaller pot. Now obviously the smaller the pot, the lower the handle's going to sit, so I actually had to cut this twice. You can see the mark there where I cut it first for this one, then realised I had to take more out for the smaller pans. So the small soup pot, I would say, sits nicely there. Again, perfect, lots of room around the outside, plenty of room in the handles, not going to lose too much heat out of there. Small frying pan. See, the smaller you get, the lower the handle gets. Now that one is still resting on the windshield, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to cut it any further. I'm going to start losing strength if I cut anything else out of it, but it works, it does the job. Now the large frying pan, bit of an issue with this. It sits lovely in there. However, it's a little bit wide for the windscreen. It literally just fits inside. So I might have to get another windshield, sorry I keep calling it different things. Might have to get a new one of these to put an extra panel in just to make it a little bit roomier for the frying pan. It fits, but there's not a lot of room around the outside. It's going to be very heat intensive underneath, which is it's great. It's going to fry things quicker, but you're more likely to burn things and just maybe start scorching the grass, or even burning your windscreen. Now another problem with it being so wide is when you pick it up, the whole windscreen comes with it. So like I say, I think I'll get another one of these, probably just a cheap eBay one. I might have a random silver panel in here, a different colour panel in here at some point when you see it next. But I'm happy with the modification that I made for the handle. That's great. Happy with that. Probably have to add two panels to make it a circle. Good. Yep. So those are the Alpkit alley pots. Hard anodised aluminium alley pots. Right. I think next we'll do these are what I call the cheapies. These came off Amazon. They were recommended by Lone Wolf Wild Camping. He's a page I follow on Instagram. Lovely guy. If you message him, he replies back. Very friendly, happy to share knowledge, information, experiences with you. I think he's up in Scotland at the moment, having a thoroughly nice time, I believe. So check out his Instagram page. Now with the cheapies, you get a small. That's more of a cup, really. I wouldn't say it was a frying pan. It's more of a cup, unless you want to do a fried egg in there or one slice of black pudding. A little bit small for this stove. This is the first time I'm trying this, by the way. I don't really think I'll use these that often. So that one doesn't really. Let's try it without this windscreen. Doesn't really sit on the coral very well because the handle's too heavy. You might have to sit and hold this, which is going to get boring after a while. Not the best. No. That's just going to be dangerous anyway. Not big enough surface area. So, not brilliant. I would imagine those burners that this does suit better. This isn't it. But like I said, I don't see that's rocking there anyway. I don't see myself using these pots very often, to be honest. They were only £8 off Amazon, I think. I actually bought these because I forgot that I'd ordered the GSI Outdoors Soloist. Yeah, that's not good. That's pretty rubbish really. Oh, there we go. Maybe just use that as a lid, counterbalance each other out. Oppose the handle so you can counterbalance it. Otherwise it gets a bit... Maybe take that if you're going to live off dehydrated meals, but I've got better pots and pans to use for that. So might stick this back on eBay. So I'd say back on eBay, I got them from Amazon. Might just get those sold. Not really much use for them. Maybe it's handy for storage or keeping things warm, I don't know. If anybody's got any uses for them, do share. But I feel like I've got better kit than this. Quality of the bag's not great either. I suppose they have their uses, but it's not for me really. So put that away. Right, next we'll go to the GSI Outdoors. This is the Soloist Cook Kit with the Minimalist Brew Kit, I suppose you would call it. It's just an insulated coffee mug. So, drawstring bag. It's a tight fit. So we'll start with the bag. This is fully water sealed. The idea being you can scoop some water up in this, put some soapy water, some fairy liquid in there. Other brands are available. Put some kind of washing up liquid in there, and you can use it for fresh soapy water for cleaning your pots. And tip it out and dry it out. Good idea. Don't think I would use it for that, but it's a good idea. Can't fault them for it. Right there. And this has the snap handle, so you squeeze it, swing the handle over, and it locks into place. So in here you've got the pan lid with drainer holes and a little steam vent. This is the lid for the coffee cup. I'll show you that in a second. Just put that on one side. Now in here I've got some accessories that I've added to the kit. I've got a Clipper jet flame lighter. These are absolutely brilliant. Can't recommend these enough. A bit more reliable than a normal flint lighter. Flint and steel striker. This was just a cheap one off eBay. I think it was £2 or £3. But it's a nice little size, easy to see. It's on a string if you want to put it around your wrist or whatever to keep hold of it. Make sure you don't lose it, or hang it up in your tent, or whatever you want to do with it. Got the pot gripper. I'll show you that in a second as well. Now, in here we've got GSI's own version of a spork, which they call a foon. It's pretty good actually. I wasn't impressed with the name when I first heard it, but the more I hear it, the better it sounds. Great sturdy piece of kit. It's a decent length for getting in the pot without you burning your hands on the side. You could use it for a dehydrated meal, or I don't know if you bring little pots of food or tins of food. It's an alright little thing. Good hard plastic, nice sturdy lock to keep it up in place. Pretty impressed. I've got other sporks which I would probably take over this one, but good that it's included in the kit. It folds up small. That's your foon. I've got a little microfiber towel inside here, which I think just about everybody does with their cook kits to protect the non-stick. I've got a Jetboil 100 gram gas canister here. Now personally I don't buy new gas canisters every time. I've got a little fitting for refilling them. So as you can see in here, I've got Coleman Performance gas in here. I also have Coleman Extreme gas for the winter months. I do have some of these which are filled with Extreme gas as well, because this doesn't fit inside most of the pots. I think it fits in this one. Yeah, so it will fit in that one, but it doesn't fit inside, say, the Jetboil Flash, things like that. Slightly too wide. So yeah, different types of gas. Microfiber cloth was just a little cheap one. I think it was £3 or something from Go Outdoors. It's a Euro Hike microfiber towel, small. It comes with this little pouch. It clips inside the pouch so you don't lose the bag. It's got a little carabiner clip on to clip onto your backpack or in your tent. I use this to store 2-in-1 coffees, tea bags, coffee whitener, sugar, things like that. So that's that. Put it down there. Finish that now. So back to the GSI. So starting with the Soloist, the kit includes the pan, the lid, I don't think you come with that. This is the bowl, comes with a little neoprene sleeve, so this is great for porridge, make a porridge, but it's got little gradations on the side there, up to 400ml. Put your porridge oats in there, add your hot water from the pan, straight in, stir it up, leave it for a bit. It has a neoprene insulated sleeve so you can touch it when it's hot, when the contents are hot. I tend to use this, I like pasta with cheese, so I take the Bisto granulated cheese sauce and I make it in here because it's easy to just rinse out. It's easier than trying to wash the pan. Just put a bit of hot water in there, swirl it around and wipe it out, and that's clean. I like it to take a proper cup and a proper plate to use rather than the little accessories that come with the sets. The Soloist comes with a foon. I've got 2 of these because one also comes with the Minimalist, so I'll do the Minimalist now. So the bowl fits in the bottom of the pan there. Right, the Minimalist. That comes with foon, lid, which goes that way when boiling your water to use as a pan lid, and you flip it over and use it that way to drink out of. So it gives you a vent so it doesn't glug and slurp, it just flows nicely. You got a little sippy hole there to stop you burning your lip on the hot titanium. Sorry, it's aluminium, it's hard anodized aluminium as well, it's not titanium. This is in its own neoprene sleeve, so take that off, put the cup on the stove. Once the water's boiling in the cup, use the little pot grips. I've got a stuff there, I can demonstrate. So, got your water in there, it's boiling away with the proper lid on. Your water's boiling away, you can hear you're going to roll and boil. Pop this off. Put that down. Take a neoprene sleeve, the pot grips, great these. Pick the cup up, drop it in the sleeve, put your top on, and that gives you a thermal cup which you could sit and hold for. I don't know how long it keeps it hot for because I've not used it yet. I was hoping to demonstrate that on Sunday, but that didn't happen, so next time. Yeah, so I like to sip a drink. I don't like it just make a hot drink and drink it straight down. I like to keep it for a little while, so that's ideal for me. It's a good size. I like a nice big cup of tea or coffee. And the good thing with the Minimalist is that it all packs down into the Soloist. So just to show you, you've got the Soloist pan, little orange bowl, tops to bottom, the Minimalist mug in there next, microfiber towel, gas canister, stops it scratching the cup. Now in here I would normally keep the pot grip, the food, my clipper jet flame lighter, flint and steel. I would have one or the other, I wouldn't normally carry both. And because the food wouldn't normally be in there and the clipper wouldn't be in there, I would also put in there the Alpkit Kraku, which is the stove which fits on top of the gas cylinder. That'll just fit nicely in there, but I don't have that yet, that's still in the post, so for now, lighter and food. Cover that over. Pop the top on the Minimalist. Pop the top on the Soloist, squeeze the handles. Hey presto, one self-contained kit. It's pretty heavy at the minute. Let's see if we can get that a little bit lighter because there's not a stove in there yet, but there is some things in there to come out. So that's the GSI Soloist / Minimalist cook kit and brew kit. I think this is probably going to be the go-to set for me, to be honest. I'm very impressed with that. I do like to cook full meals, but I probably wouldn't do that when I was camping. I would probably just take meals with me that I can warm up other than breakfast foods. So we're finished with the Alpkit Coro now. That can go to one side. Right, next. We could be here for a long time. I've got quite a bit of cook kit. Bear with us. Don't fall asleep. I know you've seen all these before, but it's my first YouTube video, so I'm going to go through the whole lot because I feel like I'm on a roll now. So, Speedster Border Raider. This comes from Speedster Burner Products, I think it might be, SBP. I think that's what it is, Speedster Burner Products. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. So it's a titanium mug with a lid, with drainer holes, little handle. Comes in a really good quality net bag, spongy net bag to stop any damage, scratches and things. So in the titanium mug, you've got the titanium lid, as mentioned. Fold out handles, which are insulated with silicone tubing. I think you pay £1 extra for that. I think the whole set was 40 something pound. You pay £1 extra for the little silicone sleeves. You have to fit them yourself by taking the handles off, but it's easy to do. You just need lots of warm soapy water to get the silicone nice and flexible. If you try and do it dry, you'll get stuck halfway and it's a nightmare. But yeah, really easy with hot soapy water. Now, in the cup, I keep a 50ml aluminium fuel bottle, which is an actual fuel bottle, so it's got a seal in the top. Keep methylated spirits in there. I find 50ml probably do 4 cups of water, 4 cups of tea, coffee. If you're making a meal that you need to cook for like 5-10 minutes, you want the 100ml bottle. Maybe even a little bit bigger. If you were really worried, you could take a Trangia 300ml bottle, but I think that's a bit excessive. So yeah, for cups of tea, things like that, 50ml does me for an overnight camp. I'm sure I get 3, maybe 4 cups out of that. In here we have the SBP windshield and heat deflector. So the heat deflector, that's pretty simple. Just pop that on the ground or on a rock or whatever. Your alcohol burner, which stays in its plastic bag. Now I damaged the tin that mine was kept in, so I've bought a new tin to put it in, but this one came with a lid. The original one doesn't have a lid because it doesn't need a one. This wick inside, it's sort of doused with carbon, things like that can absorb the methylated spirits and retain it, so you don't need a lid. It's like an anti-spill thing to say there's spill, but it's not coming out there. This one's got a lid anyway. Pop that on there. Make up your little windscreen. Nice and easy, straightforward. Now inside there's 2 little pot rests which fold out. Let's give you a closer look at those. Pot rest there, and this ledge here is your 3rd pot rest for the mug handles. Blah. Try and cut that bit out, you might be feeling a bit seasick now. Right, and the titanium mug, so the 3rd pot rest is this ledge here, which is where I got the idea from for the Alpkit concertina windshield. So that just rests in there. Pop the top on, and that's a Border Raider. Really lightweight, really good quality. Perfect for an overnighter, really. If you were just taking thick food that needs hot water added, perfect. I can't say any more than that. It's absolutely brilliant. Really recommend that. I've actually got some more Speedster products on the way. Another windshield which has a 6th panel in, which I'm hoping to use with the JSI Minimalist. and I'll have a third pot resting because it won't have this cut out. So I'm hoping to do that. Like I say, I like to experiment and make my own sets rather than buying ready-made sets, because I find that you can't find one set that does everything that you want. I prefer the idea of making my own out of various bits and pieces. So that all just packs back into the cup. Screen. Into the little pouch. Windscreen. Burner. Fuel bottle. Top. Into the bag. Now I don't have a lighter in here. I normally have one in there. I'm not sure where that's gone. I have to make a note of that and remember to put one in there. I like to keep a lighter with all of my stoves rather than having to find one every time I go. I've always got a set ready to go. So that's the Speedster Border Raider. Now some more traditional ones. Got the classic Jetboil Flash. I bought this about 3 years ago. I was a night shift service engineer, so I used to be out and about in all hours in the middle of nowhere, freezing cold, soaking wet, working on machinery. So I bought this so I could have a cup of tea wherever I went quickly, rather than having to wait for a little gas stove and a steam kettle and everything like that. So you've all seen these before, but I'll just do a quick rundown of it. Gas canister support. Gas canister, says another Coleman Performance there. It's not Jetboil gas in there anymore. Just snaps onto there. It's a bit dodgy this, it pops out every time. Might have to do something with that, maybe drill through it and put a better handle in it or something. No. It's quite old, this one. Like I say, it's 3 years old. It's had some serious abuse. It's a bit wobbly. I would invest in a new one, but I like this one. I'm not going to screw that all the way on. I'll just put it on just to show you. So that's that. Fill that water. Top goes on. Now this is an integrated cup. I've personally never used it as a cup. Just use it as a dust shield really for the flux ring. I keep 2-in-1 coffees in there because it's a good little space. Just 2 in there a minute. 2 Nescafe 2-in-1s. So if you're ever out with me and you take sugar in your coffee, tough. I don't carry it, bring your own. I don't like sugar in hot drinks, so 2-in-1 for me. Jetboil proves on. It's got its own piezo igniter. Obviously, if anybody hasn't seen the flash, I would imagine you have by now, but if anybody hasn't seen the flash, there's an indicator here which gets orange, starts at the bottom, works its way up. Once it gets to the top, the water is generally boiling. You've got a pouring spout and a draining spout, a hole there for a coffee press, but that's just more to carry, so instant for me. Yeah, that's about all I can say about the Jetboil, because everybody's seen them before. They're nothing new. Now I also have this. This was recommended to me by a good friend, Graham Wilkinson. He's had one of these for a few years now, and he asked us to make a few parts for it for a toast rack. So I made those for him. The more I played with the stove, the more I liked it, so I went and bought one. I'm going to do a separate video on this of its own, because there's so many different accessories and things to go with it, but basically it's a fold flat firebox really. It's just obviously a firebox. It's just a stainless steel square with a fire grill in the bottom, and comes with these fire sticks, and you can do all kinds of variations with them. You get lots of plates to fit different things, but like I say, I'll do a separate video on that, because that's far too involved. That deserves its own video. I would say last but not least, but there is more, but I'm not going to go too far into it, just to show you the different types. And of course there's a Trangia. Again, everybody's seen these, they're nothing new. Well, they're definitely not new, they're very old actually. Doesn't come with this bag. I don't know why. You have to buy this separately. I think they were, I can't remember if it was £3 or £6, but I bought this separate. I torn it already. Look, I've only had this out once. I torn it. That's the Trangia bag. Now on here, I'm going to give you a rundown of everything that I keep in my Trangia. I might do another video on this one as well. I don't know. See how I feel. Because I keep a lot packed up in here. Well, I did keep a lot packed up in here. I'm not too sure what's in here at the minute. So I'll start with this. This is the Trangia plate. Again, this doesn't come with it. I bought this separately for about £8, I think. Just an aluminium plate. So it's nice lightweight. You know, it's nothing special. It's just aluminium. You scratch it with your nail. I'm not really bothered about scratches. Things should always look like they've been used. They shouldn't look brand new. Like all of this stuff does. All this stuff looks brand new, but it won't pretty soon. I'm good at ruining things like that. Another Go Outdoors microfiber. Did I say it was Nature Hike? Euro Hike. Another Euro Hike microfiber towel, because I have the non-stick frying pan. This didn't come with the set. I bought this extra. Mine had the aluminium pan. I've still got the aluminium pan somewhere. I bought this one because I was doing steaks the last time and they stuck. It's probably the way I cooked them. Didn't let it heat up enough or something like that, but I wanted the non-stick. Just makes it easier for cleaning things like that. That's a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker. Really good quality. So I'm pleased I bought that. 5 o'clock. Then we've got the Alpkit, the Trangia disc, which is multi-purpose. You can use it as a lid for the saucepans. You can use it as a chopping board for your preparation, and you can use it as a drainer for draining pasta, rice, things like that. Not very cheap. Not very expensive. Only a couple of £. Worthwhile having it for the Trangia kit. This, right. Trangia make a triangular wire rack which fits inside of a Trangia 27 and a Trangia 25, which is the larger one. Didn't really fancy paying the money for a piece of wire, so what I did was I watched a YouTube video where a guy sort of explained why he made it and how it works, but he didn't leave any measurements or dimensions or links to drawings or anything of what sizes he needed. I think he thought information was power. So what I did was I sat and I worked out all the diameters of the two kits. I've got the 27, and both Graham and Glenn, who I mentioned earlier, have the 25, so I used theirs to get some measurements off that, and from that I made this out of stainless steel mesh. Now it's basically so you can use non-Trangia pots, pans, kettles, things like that. You can just rest them straight on there. It sits on the pan supports of the Trangia. In the 27 it sits on the flats of the triangle. In the 25 it sits on the 3 points. I'll see Graham and see if we can get a photo of it inside his, and I'll show you inside here in a sec. Really easy to make. What I'll do is I'll make a drawing, take some measurements, do a little step-by-step guide on how to make this if you want to, or you can just pay it. I can't remember if it was £11 or £18. Those two numbers ring a bell. But it was expensive for a piece of wire, a wire rack. So if anybody wants it, I'll gladly share how to make it, what sizes you need. Trangia pot gripper. Not as good as the silicon one that comes with GSI Outdoors, but very sturdy. These have been around for years. There's nothing new to this. Now this is where it gets interesting. So you've got the pan support. And here we've got the Trangia kettle. Now I've got the elastic bands on here because the lid rattles a little bit. If it's not, I mean, it all rattles, but that's why I use the cloths and things to keep it quiet. That's more stuff in there, so I'll come back to the kettle in a second. Saucepan number 1. Saucepan number 2. You can see where it's been resting on the pot rests. These are designed to fit inside each other one way. They do not fit inside each other. However, if you're cooking in this one and you need a lid to keep things hot, fits perfectly. If you're doing it the other way, you'll need to use the frying pan or something like that. So, those are the Trangia saucepans. They're not the non-stick, they're just the standard aluminium. I didn't upgrade those because I don't plan to use them that often. And anything that I will use them for probably won't stick anyway. And then we're left with the actual stove itself. So you've got the burner holder, which is also your windbreak and air supply. Big hole here is for a gas attachment, which I've got. I didn't get that out to show you, but I might attach a photo of that at the end, sitting in there. So your alcohol burner sits in there. The holes on the back should always face the wind. I know that sounds a bit contradictory to what you would think, but you need the airflow coming in here to get the burner going at its most efficient. This just screws your windshield for the flame. It just sits on there like that. I push it on, twist. Now then, inside the kettle. Ease off. I'm twanging myself. Inside the kettle, I've got washing up sponge. Another Clipper jet flame lighter, because like I say, I love these, absolutely brilliant. The Trangia burner is in that bag there, and a pop-up cup. I can't remember what brand or make this is. It's from the Bushcraft store. I think at the time I paid about $2.99 for it. It's an alright little cup. It's small. Like I said earlier, I like a big cup of tea, so I mean, it'll keep you warm while you're cooking. But it's not exactly a refreshing cup of tea. It's just a little sip to warm you up. It's only in here because it fits lovely in the Trangia kettle, and me pop-up cup doesn't. Trangia burner, always keep it in the yellow bag, just in case anything does leak out of it. That's pretty much leak proof, but if anything does leak out of it, then you want it in the bag. Simmer ring, fully adjustable. Now these are quite tight when you get them, so I would highly recommend when you first time you open it, just bend it ever so slightly so that it can still snap shut, but that when it's up, it moves easily. I'm not supposed to put things, not the tidiest person as you can see. So Trangia alcohol burner, the whole thing used to be this lovely gold colour, but it's had some use now, so it's tarnished a bit, but one day when I'm bored I might polish that up. Yeah, still a few in there, probably should have emptied that or burnt it off. So the burner sits in there. It's best to light it with the cover off if you can. If obviously it's too windy then you won't be able to, but light it with the cover off. Put the cover on. You don't need to spin it all the way around, just put it in, just spin it enough so that it locks. You can see the little tabs inside where it locks. And then you've got your inside for small pots in the kettle. Up here for the frying pan. Now I said I would show you the triangle. Put the top on that so don't spill it. So the triangle, like I say, it's designed so that in the 25 it sits on the 3 points, on a 27 it sits on the 3 flats. So that will just drop into there like so. I'll just show you that. And what that means is you can put non-standard, like say that was like the titanium mug from the Speedster, it just sits directly over the flame there like that. It doesn't have to sit on the special Trangia brackets and attachments. And I'll do a little write up on that and some photos and things and show you how to make that. And that basically covers the wide variety of stoves and cookware that I've got. There is other stuff, but I won't bore you with every single thing. I'm going to do a separate video on the firebox stove, as I said, because that's just, it's like a trangia, it's so involved. So yeah, hopefully if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification button if you're interested. If you're not, sorry I didn't entertain. But yeah, I'll do another one on the firebox if that's what people want. And hopefully the next things I should be doing is getting out and about, doing some cooking on some of this kit out there in the world, especially the beach. I live very close to the sea and the beach, so there's a nice rocky area where I can do a good video. I live close to the Cheviot Hills, so I can go up in the hills. Got the College Valley, all sorts. So I'm very lucky to live in Northumberland where I do, hence the name, Northumbrian Wild Camper. So yeah, I'll stop babbling now and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.